Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boys here at Z-Dub Sports Nation, and we got another bracketology here, Zach.
Yeah, we're only 5 days away from Selection Sunday now, so it's about that
It's
time,
about
boys.
that time. We're getting close, and we're excited here. We've been making some conference tournament videos for you guys. We put those out yesterday. Hopefully, you seem to enjoy them here.
Yeah, we was definitely our most views in a day we've ever had, so we appreciate it.
Keep going with those. We're gonna have more coming out for you tonight. I think we're gonna record later tonight the Big East, Mountain West, and the Pac-12
Yep.
conference tournament previews. Hopefully, get those out tonight before the tournament start tomorrow. But right now, we got another bracketology to go over, Zach.
Let's do it.
Joel Lenardi's given us another prediction of what the field's going to look like, and we're going to be here for it. And right away, let's talk about the bubble again, Zach. And really, those teams on the last four they're in almost some must-win situations here in their games.
Yeah, we were looking ahead at Rutgers and Wyoming and Rutgers especially. Rutgers has to beat Iowa probably to get into the tournament.
Yeah,
on Thursday, I think. And that's going to be really tough to do. Like Iowa's not an easy team at all. And Wyoming also has to beat UNLV, who is better than I think a lot of people will give them credit for. So must win games for the last four in right now.
Must win games. The one thing I will say is you look at the bubble here. These guys are done. BYU's done. Yeah. Dayton's done. Virginia Tech still has to play. VCU's is their conference done?
They still have their conference tournament coming up, but it's going to be very tough to get it because it's kind of a weaker year for the A10. So they're going to have to really do some they probably have to make it to the championship game just to have a chance.
So we'll see what exactly happens, but not a good situation for Wyoming or Rutgers right now.
Yeah, definitely not. They got to win.
And that's really what I take away from the bubble, though. There's not much else to take from it.
No, I agree.
Unless you have something else.
No, let's jump into it. Let's get this bracket.
Let's get into our bracket here. And the number one overall seed yet again, Zach, is the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
They looked good last night. They looked good again last night against San Francisco.
Beat the Dons last night, and I think they win again here. They beat the Dons by 10, which is a good win.
And they were up 20 most of it, so I feel confident Gonzaga still. So we'll have moving on.
But let's go over to TCU taking on San Diego State, Zach, and who do you like the Frogs here? Or do you like the Aztecs?
I like the Frogs here. I love the way they played in this back stretch of the season. These past like 6 or so games, TCU's been playing phenomenal.
We got UConn now taking on North Texas, and we see Mean Green pulling an upset here. Or do you like?
I like the Mean Green normally. However, I like this UConn team this year. I'm actually a real big fan of this UConn team. I think I like their size, and I like an experienced point guard like RJ Cole.
So we'll send the Huskies through there. And we got Arkansas taking on Vermont. Arkansas sitting at a 4 seed right now. And I like the Hogs in this one, Zach.
Yeah, we love the Hogs on this channel.
LSU taking on Michigan. LSU put up 80 this weekend on Alabama.
They did play
in
better.
Overtime. They're finding a way to score, Zach, which we've talked about their defense. If they can find a way to score. So I want to pick LSU in this game.
You pick LSU? I can go with you. I was leaning Michigan, but I can go.
I just think LSU's starting – if their defense plays the way it can and they can start finding a way to score, LSU is a team that I could see make a run a little bit.
Well, and now that we've seen Xavier Pinson come back, he is making them play a lot better. So I can get
Sweet them. 16 potential.
They do. They definitely do. When you have a great defense, you always put yourself in position to be able to make a run.
And now we got Texas Tech taking on Seattle here. And Tech.
Yeah, Tech, another team with a great defense.
Colorado State taking on Wake Forest, and I'm sorry, Demon Deacons.
Yeah, our Rams got to go.
They're going to suffer a casualty right here. The Rams, I thought they would have. I was a little surprised they didn't move around a little bit after the win on Saturday.
Yeah, I could see. We had a subscriber comment about like Colorado State maybe moving up, and if they can win the Mountain West, Colorado State might be able to move into that 5 or maybe even a 4 seed range if they can win the Mountain West.
We'll see what happens. I was surprised they didn't move around. There wasn't much
up to the 6,
up to the 6 or even a higher 7.
Yeah,
after because they were against Wisconsin last time in this region, weren't they?
I think so. They were.
They stayed put after beating Boise State.
Joe Lenardi sleeps on the Mountain West.
It is what it is. Wisconsin now taking on Long Beach State, and I like the Badgers in this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Now we've got Colorado State and Wisconsin. And Zach, I know we made a case for our Rams last time. Do we want to make it again, or do we pick Wisconsin here?
Yeah, I think I think like a good 70% of the time Wisconsin wins this game. So I'll go Wisconsin. Now that all depends on Johnny Davis's health. You know, we talked about it for briefly in our Big Ten conference tournament video. We got to see if Johnny's going to be healthy. If Johnny's not healthy, I'd go Colorado State.
What does Wisconsin have in the Big Ten tournament? Who's their
They have they're the 2 seed, so they're gonna play. I can't remember. It's not super tough for Wisconsin though. Wisconsin has a good chance to make a run in the conference tournament.
Is it the Michigan-Maryland game?
It'll be the Michigan-Maryland
Michigan
game,
State, sorry. Michigan State and Maryland?
Yeah, Michigan State and Maryland.
So they'll get the winner. I think they can win that game.
Yeah. Wisconsin could definitely do some damage.
We'll see. They could move up to the 1 line. Zach and we're going to focus on bracketology. We'll make it quick here, but Zach and I were talking predictions for the 1 line in this next tournament. You're probably looking at, what do you think? Gonzaga, if Gonzaga takes care of business tonight.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga, Arizona are locks for the number 1.
Big 12 and then SEC.
That is probably what it's going to be.
Let me throw in a wrench here. If Arizona loses the Pac-12, and do you see the Big Ten champion get in? Like, no. if Wisconsin wins,
I don't, because of that Nebraska loss at home.
Okay,
I think that ended it.
You think that ended it?
I think it ended it for him. Without that, though, I think there would still been a path for Wisconsin to get a 1 seed.
It's an interesting debate. You'll see. I think, especially if Arizona bows out early in the Pac-12. It's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be talking about it going into the selection show, and I'm curious what the committee will think.
Yeah, I am too. People have been saying Arizona might be a lock right now already. They're saying they're a lock no matter what happens in the Pac-12. But
historically, they valued the Big Ten though. They value the Big Ten and the Big Ten champion.
And they usually always talk about the gauntlet that the Big Ten is, and it is a gauntlet year in and year out. So it will be interesting to see that for sure.
It'll be really interesting. I'm really excited actually. But after that sidetrack and that brief detour, let's get into it again. We got LSU taking on Texas Tech and talk about 2 defenses. Yes. It's not often where you say Tech's going to score more points than a team. But I think Tech has an easier time scoring in this game. Now, if LSU does find their offense, like I said, they can, I think LSU could win this game. But the odds of me thinking LSU is going to find enough offense against Tech,
I think it'd be a struggle for LSU.
Yeah.
And in a dogfight of a game, this game stays low scoring, I think, all the way through.
I think it's close. I don't think it gets high enough scoring to get a blowout really in this one.
No.
I just think LSU has a hard enough time scoring against average defenses. Against Texas Tech, they're going to have an even harder time.
I think so too.
UConn, though, taking on Arkansas, and I like the Hogs in this one, Zach.
I do too. And these teams match up fairly well against each other. I think you can just trust in Arkansas a little more right now.
And the team sitting in the death spot this time is TCU taking on Gonzaga here, and I think Gonzaga.
Yeah, I do too.
As good as TCU, but TCU is playing some better basketball, and I could see TCU moving their way up, or TCU putting up a fight if they had to play Gonzaga here.
I think so too. We've seen TCU's capable of beating a 1 seed. We saw it just last week with the win over Kansas.
We picked TCU to win our Big 12 tournament.
We did. So we had major respect for them.
We think they could do some damage, and I think I'm going to be curious to see where they move around to when it's all said and done.
Yeah, if they can get off this 8, especially you said this is like the 8-9 death spot game, just how good Gonzaga's looked lately. And if they can get out of that, that'd be great.
Now, Arkansas taking on Gonzaga, and Zach, this is interesting. And
this is.
Do we have enough in us to go pick Suey?
I think we do. Let's go pick Suey. And I think it's because Arkansas, I think, could be able to dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like is the recipe to beat Gonzaga, is dictating the pace of the game. We saw it in the St. Mary's game. And that looked like the formula to probably beat Gonzaga is you dictate the pace, you slow it down. And Arkansas doesn't like really, really slow it down, but I think they slow it down enough to where, and I think Eric Musselman would decide to play slower than they normally play. And I think that could be the factor.
Arkansas almost pulled off a major upset last year, taking on Baylor in the tournament. And I think they get it done this year.
They did. By far hung with Baylor the best last year.
So we'll see. Texas Tech now taking on Wisconsin. This is such a good game. I want to pick Wisconsin here, though. I just think Tech's struggling a little bit lately.
Tech is struggling a little bit. I can go Wisconsin.
I think Tech gets their ship righted, and I think they get it together. But right now, Tech, a little weary of Texas Tech right now, just the way they've been playing as of late a little bit.
I can understand that they don't have a true point guard. Not having a true point guard can worry me. It's really just a bunch of dudes that are 6'6". Like there's a bunch of 6'6" athletic guys without a true point guard. So
we'll see here. We got Arkansas taking on Wisconsin. What in an Elite Eight. That's non-traditional teams. Wisconsin's a little more traditional, but still not your typical you see there. Taking on Arkansas and Zach. I want to let's for this situation say Johnny Davis is healthy. Because if Johnny Davis isn't healthy, Wisconsin doesn't make it this far.
Exactly.
So with a healthy Johnny Davis, what do you see Wisconsin doing here against Arkansas?
I think they could do very well because I think they've proven like they beat Purdue. They've actually beat some of the best teams in the country. Their resume is fantastic. I could see Wisconsin pulling this off.
I can too.
I think I could see it. And this is a terrific
game.
Matchup.
I love it. If we see this matchup, we're thanking the basketball gods, man.
For real.
That would be tasty. But let's go down. And we said there's not much change, but we got a new number one team again. We got some movement on the number one line as Kansas hops Auburn. Auburn won this week. Did they not, or did they lose?
I think Auburn won. I can't remember. I think they did.
I'm just trying to, because Kansas I know lost to TCU, but they must be valuing the Kansas win against Tech on or not Tech against Texas on Saturday. And so we'll see. I think that's good for me. I'm happy about it. And honestly, as a Kansas fan, I love this region for us, except for the Kentucky part. But this top part of the bracket, I enjoy it.
Yeah, and it also looks like it could set up a future Kansas-Illinois matchup in this region. No, yeah, Kansas. I think they're just valuing the quad one wins that Kansas has.
Yeah. We'll talk about it later when we get to Arkansas, what happened. We got Seton Hall taking on Murray State here. And the Racers?
I can go Murray State.
They struggled a little bit this week. They won their conference tournament. Oh, Seton Hall, sorry. They won their conference tournament, but the boys hung in there over there at Morehead State. That was a good game.
That was a good game. That was a really good game. And I think Murray State does have a good team. They have some of the guys from the team that John Morant was on at Murray State. They got, I think, at least two of the starters on that team are also still on this team. So this is a team that actually some of these guys have actually been to the tournament. And I think that gives them a little bit of advantage too, having a couple of guys that have been there and pulled off an upset. This is not really an upset in this scenario, but still some tournament experience.
Houston now taking on the winner of Xavier and Wyoming, Zach. And I know you like both of these Xavier and Wyoming teams. Do you like them more than this Houston team right now?
I do. I could see either one, Xavier or Wyoming.
Give me a pick and who wins the Xavier Wyoming game then.
I'll go Wyoming right now just because they're both struggling. We all know that both Xavier and Wyoming are really struggling right now. I think Wyoming, just off the eye test, has a little more than I'm liking right now. Ability to shoot, ability to score on the inside. Which Xavier struggles to shoot the three, and Wyoming can shoot the three fairly well.
Illinois taking on Toledo here, and I like the Illini, Zach.
Yeah, I like the Illini.
Ohio State and Memphis. Do we like them?
I haven't liked Memphis until I still am not convinced, but I think I can pick this upset though.
Yeah, I just haven't loved Ohio State recently,
and I just feel like
losing to Michigan on Sunday.
An 11/6, like this 11/6, just feels like a classic upset.
Feels like one. And we got Villanova here taking on Longwood here, Zach, and Longwood making their first appearance in the dance. We saw ticket punched on Sunday. Longwood is a lock.
That's true. That is true.
I like Nova though here.
Yeah, I got Nova. Longwood might be able to keep it close.
Their mascot's gonna give them power. If you haven't seen the Longwood mascot, he looks absolutely the scariest thing in the world, but it's also amazing.
It's amazing. It's like a horse from the hood. It's great.
USC taking on Notre Dame here, and I kind of want to go Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? I could do Notre Dame. They're playing. They're not playing bad.
I kind of want to go Notre Dame here.
I'm excited to see Notre Dame in the ACC tournament too.
I want to get a really good eye on Notre Dame right now. I'll be honest. I don't have the most familiar idea of Notre Dame. This is more my picking against USC in this situation, but Notre Dame, I mean, they're number 2 seed in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, you got to do some good things to get the number 2 seed. And
so we'll keep an eye on them here at Z-Dub.
For sure.
Kentucky taking on Georgia State, and I like Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Now, Kentucky against Notre Dame. I just mentioned I don't know enough about Notre Dame, but I know enough about Kentucky to think Kentucky.
And I think because earlier in the year we saw this matchup and Notre Dame found a way to win, but I don't see that really happening again.
I think this is a different Kentucky team later in the year versus early in the year.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Memphis taking on Villanova, and Nova for me. Here's that.
Yeah, Nova. Memphis is the type of team I can see only getting one game, really.
Illinois taking on Wyoming in this matchup here. Zach, do you like your Illini or do you like the Cowboys?
I like Illinois here. The Cowboys are good, but we'll go Illinois.
Kansas and Murray State, and I like Kansas here, Zach.
Yeah.
In Kansas and Illinois, we see the matchup again, and I want to pick Kansas here, Zach.
I think the last time we did pick, when we had this matchup, we picked Illinois, and it's a 50-50 game, so we can go Kansas.
We can go Kansas. I don't know. I like the ball they played on Saturday in Kansas. They did us all a favor by making it so we didn't have to sit there and watch the Coach K Love Fest at the pregame show.
Yeah,
I saw that all over Twitter. People thanking Kansas and Texas for going to overtime for that. So that was funny seeing that. But here we got Villanova taking on Kentucky, and I like Kentucky. You like Nova?
I'd probably actually go Nova right now.
Okay.
We can go Kentucky. I'll just give
your take. Give your take here.
I think a team like Nova, some of these guys have been in the tournament for Kentucky. This is a more experienced Kentucky team. But this Nova team, though, these guys have really been there, done that. These guys are fifth-year seniors. I think Gillespie maybe a sixth-year senior. I don't know. I just think these guys are going to want to go out in their last year, and I think they're really going to play well in this tournament. I don't know how far their potential is, but I could see Nova being able to beat Kentucky because of their discipline and being like, I don't know, every time they don't beat them, Nova never beats themselves. Do they have someone to
stay with Sheboy?
That'd be, I guess maybe you could put Eric Dixon on Sheboy. He's pretty strong guy. Sheboy would be a little bit of an issue. Nova matches up better with Kentucky than a lot of teams do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would lean Nova right now, but
we can go Nova. We can really go Nova. We send Kentucky a lot, so I'm comfortable switching it up. Having Nova go. I think we've had Nova have a run, so I'm all right with that.
All right, let's do it.
But I'll tell you this, I like Kansas in this game a lot.
Oh, we can do. I could do Kansas too.
I like Kansas a lot in this game if they get Nova.
Let's do it. Kansas to the Final Four.
I just think that Nova doesn't provide the issues that other teams would.
I think this would actually be a really intriguing matchup, Kansas Nova. I don't see like one decided advantage one way or the other.
No.
I think Kansas is just a little better in general, but I don't see a huge advantage.
I just think that where Kansas is gonna have issues is when they start getting against big guys, and
Nova's big guys aren't great.
I think it's a wash between the two. Like, because we can play KJ against?
You probably could. Yeah, because like Nova's bigs aren't your traditional, they're not just your traditional scoring bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll maybe get 10 and 8. Like Dixon, I think will get 10 and 8 often. I think that'd be a good matchup though.
Mm-hmm. Arizona now sitting here at the 1 taking on UNC Wilmington or Bryant. Bryant plays tonight against
is it Wagner?
Yeah, Wagner. Yeah, I was trying to think. It was Wagner tonight in the championship game in their conference.
That'll be interesting.
I think it's gonna be really good. I want to try and catch some of that.
Yeah, six conference championships tonight that are happening.
That's gonna be fun.
That's like awesome.
Arizona here, I think, wins this game.
Yeah, Arizona.
North Carolina taking on Iowa State. NC?
I can go North Carolina. Yeah.
I liked NC on Saturday, man. I really did.
We're not like sold yet, but it definitely gave us more faith.
RJ played really well, man.
He did.
RJ played well. Armando Bacot played like a man.
He did.
Something we talk about here is how we can, like, Armando Bacot, you never know, like,
he can take over.
He can take over a game.
He's like, Sheboy's gotten all the attention this year as a center, and Kofi Coburn probably the second most attention. But
he's been quiet.
Bacot's the third best center in basketball.
He's been really quiet and going in. I honestly didn't realize it. My knock on Armando Bacot is how inconsistent, how soft I thought he was, right? After watching last year, from what I saw. But this year, I didn't realize how much Armando Bacot has stepped up this year.
Yeah, he's improved a lot. He's been consistent the entire way through. And that was a little bit knocked. Sometimes he would be inconsistent in the past. This year, consistent all the way through and was dominant on Saturday.
That was really good. I loved it. I thoroughly loved it. But Here we got Texas taking on Rutgers and TCU, or Rutgers and SMU. And a Rutgers-Texas matchup I like. But I think Texas wins.
I think Texas does too.
But I think a Rutgers-Texas matchup would be a really good game. Providence taking on Chattanooga here. We saw Chattanooga clinch their spot last night.
In a wild game. David John Baptiste with like the 35-footer. That was freaking awesome.
I like Chattanooga in this game, Zach.
I do too. And we just learned this yesterday. Sylvia D'Souza, who had all the scandals and problems. He had the chair incident. He starts for Chattanooga now. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. So I like this Chattanooga team. Seems to be pretty good.
You know, I'll give you a reason why he could be good in March.
What's that?
Because there's all stadium seating around. There's no floor seating. There's not going to be floor chairs or as many floor chairs for Silvio.
So he's not going to grab a chair.
Yeah, he's not going to get in trouble. I'm completely playing here. That was a tough scene when that happened.
That was crazy.
St. Mary's taking on Loyola Chicago here. Loyola Chicago has punched their ticket after beating Drake in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship here. But St. Mary's has a chance to punch their ticket tonight against Gonzaga. And wouldn't that be something? I don't think they're sitting as a 6 if they punch their ticket tonight.
No, I think they got to jump up to like a 5 or a 4.
But in this matchup here, I like St. Mary's here, Zach.
I do too, because both these teams play similar style of basketball. But I just think this year St. Mary's has a better team.
I just don't think Loyola Chicago has the magic in them this year. They've traditionally been a team that has some magic in them and goes on runs.
They do. But
not this year to me. Purdue taking on Montana State. Montana State coming out of the Big Sky. The Big Sky tournament gets going tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow.
I like Purdue here.
Me too.
Marquette taking on Miami in this one. Do you like the Eagles or do you like the Hurricanes?
I'll go Marquette just because I've seen they've had a lot of great wins throughout this season. So in a 50-50, I'll go Marquette.
Auburn taking on Colgate. I like Auburn in this one. Auburn and Marquette. I like Auburn, Zach.
I can go Auburn.
St. Mary's taking on Purdue. My bad. Sorry. St. Mary's and Purdue here. What do you like, Zach? Purdue? Or do you see St. Mary's pulling off this upside? I can see St. Mary's pulling this upside off.
This one's tough for me because I see two polarizing styles of basketball here. I see an emphasis on defense and I see an emphasis like on just offense for Purdue. So I'm like, I could really easily see this going either way, but I kind of want to see a little bit of upset.
Well, we can change it up. We often have Purdue go for a run.
Let's go St. Mary's.
St. Mary's gets a win here. Texas taking on Chattanooga.
I could see Chattanooga.
I could see Chattanooga doing
something crazy going on. I mean,
they beat our Cinderella.
They could be. I think they could.
We need a Cinderella so far in this bracket.
And maybe it's fate for them. We saw that was a crazy shot there. Maybe this is the team of March.
We'll send them. Arizona taking on North Carolina here. I like Arizona in this matchup, Zach.
Yeah, I do too, because Koloko is one of the best defensive bigs in the nation.
And makes him a non-factor.
And then
limits his factor, I guess.
It's a really good matchup because you have the Tubelis Manic factor too. So you have really good bigs in this game. I think Arizona's bigs could a little better. And not even just their bigs. The advantage probably comes with Benedict Mathurin. You can take over a game.
Arizona taking on Chattanooga here. I like Zona in this one, though, Zach. I think it's over.
The run is over for Chattanooga.
Auburn taking on St. Mary's. Do you think Auburn loses St. Mary's here? Or do you think Auburn can get a win?
It could be a little cinder. We usually see a seed like 6, 7, 8 seeds make it to this point. So I kind of want to go with St. Mary's one more time.
All right. Let's send them. Arizona, though, taking on St. Mary's. And you mentioned one more time. I think it's over right here.
Yeah, I think
Arizona gets it here. We're going really chalky right now in our Final Fours.
Yeah, the Final Four is chalky, but everything else
is upset. We've seen some upsets here, but there's not much changeover in this bracket. But we'll see here. Baylor taking on Norfolk State. Zach, Baylor, I think, wins this game.
Yeah, Baylor. Michigan
State taking on San Francisco. I like the Dons here, Zach. I liked what I've seen out of the Dons these past few days.
I like the guard play that the Dons have.
They struggled against BYU, and they still found a way to win that game fairly handily. So I like the Dons right now.
Yeah, I can go Dons.
South Dakota State taking on Alabama.
Oh, that's one of the championships tonight. It's South Dakota State versus North Dakota State. So that's who's going to get in. And there, you could make an argument that South Dakota State get it at large. They probably won't, though.
It'd be interesting to see.
And I could go South Dakota State here.
You see it here?
I could.
Alabama coming off a loss on Saturday, as we mentioned, LSU. I like South Dakota State. I can see it.
Let's do it.
UCLA taking on Iona. I like the Bruins, Zach. We saw Johnny Juzang playing on Saturday.
Yeah, I can go Bruins here.
He's back and it seems like he's healthy, which is big for the Bruins, I guess.
Yeah, because Johnny Juzang was really the main reason they got to the Final Four last year. The amount of clutch shots he hit on that journey, insane.
Iowa taking on Davidson and Hawkeyes here.
Yeah, I can go Iowa. I think it's gonna be tough to stop the Murray brothers.
Yeah,
they're tough.
Tennessee taking on Princeton. I like Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Boise State taking on Creighton.
I just can't believe in Creighton until they get their point guard. He's not coming back. So
it's tough to believe in, but they've been doing well.
They have.
They've been playing good basketball.
It's tough when you're
believing them in March without their point guard. If you have Ryan Nembhard, I think they could do some damage. Honestly,
I think they would have been a sleeper pick for me.
And now, Zach, we get to the team that we've been waiting to talk about a little bit here. We got the Duke Blue Devils taking on Jacksonville State, and right away, let's get it out of the way. I think Duke wins this game.
Yeah, me too.
But I want to sound off on Duke a little bit here. In our video on Friday, we talked about how Duke might be on upset alert. They were playing North Carolina at home, and North Carolina's not a pushover team, but Duke went and they lost, and they didn't just lose; they lost fairly handily.
They did, yeah. North Carolina controlled that all the way through.
And so I want to say something here. It made me nervous for Duke and almost made me doubt Duke, and I'll tell you why. People are going to say they lost that game because, the nerves of it being Coach K's last home game started to set in. They're like, we can't, there's too much emotions. There's everything, all the stadium. But that's not going away, Zach. In the ACC tournament, they're going to have these games. Okay, they're going to show up and they're going to play. And it's not going to set in there. But when they get to March Madness, they lose, they're done. And Coach K is done. If you're nervous about Coach K's last home game, how are you going to feel if you get in a tight game if even Boise State gets them tight, right? In the last 5 minutes, last 10 minutes, a team's hanging around. It's going to set in of, oh crap, we don't play our heart. We blow this game. Coach K's done, right? We talk about how they're going to fight with the spirit of Coach K and Coach K's going to power them through. But the pressure of Coach K isn't something you can't overlook.
That's how I look at it too. I look at the pressures, this pressure of all this Coach K talk and all this final year talk. Mm-hmm. It might prove to be too much at some point. I think because some of these kids, this for a Duke team, it's a decently old team. This is still a pretty young Duke team.
They're college kids, man. They're 18 to max 24.
And yeah, they might not be ready for this type of pressure. And to their benefit, they do play better on the road and on neutral sites. Maybe it takes the pressure off of them a little bit when they play on the road.
But at the same time, it's Duke, right? You're not talking about a smaller school that's not going to pack the house. Anywhere they go, it's going to be Dookie Central in the stadium. It's going to be a lot of Duke fans, a lot of people wearing Duke blue, and the pressure on them. So I struggle to believe that Duke's going to make a run, and that's our reason. It is not our Duke hate. I'm taking my Duke hate out of it, and I'm being honest in saying that pressure's not going away. And if they struggled with the pressure on Saturday, and if that's your reasoning for losing that game, you can't reasonably try and say they're going to have faith going forward.
Yeah, I think this is a tough Duke team to believe in a Final Four run this year.
But here, let's get back to it. We got Duke taking on Boise State. And Zach, I like Duke in this one. I think as much as I just hated on Duke, I think Duke finds a way.
Duke gets by Boise State.
And now it's Tennessee and Iowa. I like Tennessee in this matchup.
Tennessee's a team to really love right now.
It's UCLA taking on South Dakota State. Oh, get my words out here. English isn't my friend. UCLA, I think, wins this game, Zach. I don't know. I
can go UCLA here. I think UCLA, they shoot the three ball well.
Let's give a little bit of respect to UCLA. I think we're quick to knock on UCLA, but I do think there is some potential for a Sweet 16 run, at least in this team.
Yeah, I think they have Sweet 16 potential.
We got Baylor taking on San Francisco here. And the Dons played some fight this week. They hung with Gonzaga on Saturday. Last night, Monday night. Zach, I think the Gonzaga is better than Baylor.
Yeah, definitely are.
So for the Dons to hang with Gonzaga is something to watch. I think Baylor wins this game, but Baylor could easily lose it too.
You think so?
I think.
I mean, it's a lot of
guard play here.
Yeah, it's great guards in this game. Bouye and Shabazz are fantastic for San Francisco. So I can see the argument for San Francisco pulling off an upset there, though. And if I could go either way, but Baylor's probably a little better.
I think I just have more faith in Baylor. I think it's a 70-30 game, like we talked about with the Wisconsin and Colorado State game. But I just think of all the number ones that are in trouble in an 8-1 matchup, I think Baylor right there is a team to watch in it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's your early exit number one right there. But now, as we say that, we got UCLA taking on Baylor. I just think Baylor's better than UCLA, though.
Yeah, I don't see another run in this UCLA team back-to-back years.
Tennessee taking on Duke, and the take I just mentioned on Duke, replay it, and that's why I think Tennessee's going to win this game.
Yeah, Tennessee for me too.
I think the pressure of Coach K. I think this is a tight nail-biter game for parts, and then at some point, it gets too much for Duke, and Tennessee starts to pull.
Yeah, I think Tennessee starts to pull away too, and Tennessee plays phenomenal defense. I don't know how often Duke has seen a defense as good as Tennessee's this year.
Not in the ACC. So Baylor now in Tennessee, Zach. I think it's a good game.
Fantastic game.
I like the Vols, though.
Yeah, I like the Vols too. They got more size right now than Baylor. Baylor has had, Chama Chashba got hurt and all that. And Flo Thamba has played better of late. He's given Baylor fans some faith in that they can make a run because Flo Thamba is starting to play better. But I still think Tennessee would get by Baylor.
Which brings us to another Arizona-Tennessee matchup, a matchup we've seen a couple of times. We hate this matchup because it's so hard to pick.
It is.
It's a matchup we saw earlier this year where Tennessee won that game, right?
Yeah, Tennessee
won it. That was a controversial game. Zach has said that he felt like the refs handed that game to Tennessee.
I did some questionable calls towards the end of that game.
But now we see it again, and it's going to be in New Orleans on the Final Four stage. And I think Arizona goes out and wins this game, and I think they want their revenge.
I can get behind that. I'm still so conflicted on this game, but I can say Arizona could win.
I'm going to make a take for it in the sense that Arizona wants their revenge. They feel your pain of they didn't like some of the calls at that game. They're going to take it out of the refs' hands, and they're going to go out there, and they're going to play their hearts out and their guts out on this stage, and they're going to try and avenge that loss.
And it's been a long time since the Pac-12 team's even been to a championship game, so it might be time.
It might be. I think it might be. And I think Arizona's that team that can do it if you're talking for a Pac-12 team right now. And we got Wisconsin taking on Kansas on this side. And I don't know, Zach. You give me your take on this because I lean to Kansas, and I don't know if that's more my Kansas homer in me or if this is.
I think these teams, kind of Arizona, Tennessee thing with these two teams, there's so many parallels you can make between Johnny Davis and Ochai Agbaji, Christian Brown and Brad Davison. You know what I mean? It's a big man like
Chucky.
McCormick and Wall. Yeah,
Chucky and Dewan.
These teams literally mirror each other. And in terms of players, play style, not exactly. Wisconsin prefers to slow the game down a little bit more than Kansas does. Kansas likes to get out and run. In terms of players, I don't see an advantage really one way or the other. It comes down to who wins the pace. So I'm okay. If you're leaning Kansas, I can go Kansas.
I want to go Kansas a little bit here. I just think Och, and I say this against Johnny Davis, and I realize that Och has something magical going this year. I love that out of him too. As a Kansas fan, we questioned him a lot after last year. He was supposed to step up and be that guy last year, and he didn't. I think the key for Kansas, and if Kansas wins this game, Remy Martin plays huge.
Yeah, Remy could be an X factor.
He seems like he's coming off the bench now, behind Dewan. Dewan's kind of settled in, and which I think makes sense a little bit in a sense that they don't need Remy right now to go out there and score. They're better with a point guard who can go out there and facilitate it, which is better for what Dewan does. But if Remy can find a way to go get some buckets off the bench for this team, I think that's elite, and that's something that is huge.
I think so too. I really do.
So that's the key. If Kansas is going to go make a run, it's going to be if David McCormick can start playing like we've been calling for David McCormick to play like all for forever,
the whole career.
For his whole career. Now, I at this point, it's his last tournament. I don't see him finally stepping up and doing that. Maybe he does. If McCormick can do that, or Remy Martin can start playing the way he needs to, Kansas has this potential in them.
Yeah.
But now we see Arizona taking on Kansas here, Zach. And
I think I like Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona's looking really solid.
I think if Kansas finds a way, if both those things happen, McCormick plays the way he needs to, and then Remy steps up, Kansas wins this game. I think Kansas finds a way to win this game, but I don't see both those things happening. What's our score here, Zach, while I ask you another question?
We'll go 77-75.
Could KJ Adams play in this game? Could KJ guard
I don't know if he has the height. He could do it.
Athleticism wise, I think that's our better.
He could definitely step in for, they might do maybe a platoon role. Maybe he can go 15 minutes in this game. And I think if you can get a valuable 15 out of KJ, it could be important. I think if KJ was a little taller, because KJ is only 6'7", I think. And Koloko 7'1", Tubella 6'10". That Arizona size is going to prove tough for many teams in March. But a fantastic matchup.
I think it'd be a great game though. And that is what we think is going to look like, guys. We got the Arizona Wildcats, the conference of champions, as Bill Walton calls it, finally lives up to its hype, and the Arizona Wildcats get the NCAA tournament championship in 2022
and bring a title back to the West Coast for first time since '97, I think.
Yeah, Arizona the last time to do it.
Yeah, and they were the last one to do it. 1997.
It'll be something. I'm so excited. I'm giddy sitting here thinking about it. That at this time next week we're going to be seeing games.
Yeah, it'll be the first four.
Yeah, we'll see some first four next Tuesday. So look forward to that. Get going here, guys. Check out our other videos we have out right now. We have conference tournament preview videos for all of the big conferences. We got the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12 out right now. We're going to have the Big East, Mountain West, and the Pac-12 recording tonight, and we'll get those out to you tonight or tomorrow morning. Those videos are gonna be out there. Check them out before the conference tournaments get going. Enjoy, guys. We're excited.
Yeah, best time of the year. Enjoy Conference Champ Week. Selection Sunday is gonna be hype. So
yeah, Selection Sunday. That's what I was gonna mention. We're working some stuff out right now. We're trying to figure out a way our Wi-Fi is not good at our apartment here, guys. So if we can find a way to go live, we're gonna try and go live. But if we can't go live, we're going to be going right into a reaction video right away after the bracket gets revealed. So we'll see here, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Love the support.
Take care.
Have a good one.